Is our economy going to make it, my friends? This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We got so many stories to get into. In this video, we have McDonald's losing a huge chunk of their customers. We'll get into that. We have Billy Bob Thornton on Joe Rogan chiming in on all the stuff going on around us. We'll get into that as well. We actually have a ton of stuff to get into. We're going to talk about New York City a little bit. Got some interesting stuff there to get into. AI and the war, of course, on the right, and much more. We got even Russell Crowe and much more. Let's just get into this. We'll start here. McDonald's is losing its lowest income customers, and it's not hard to see why. Obviously, the prices are going up. People's wages are not going up at all. The results are in. McDonald's latest earnings report sheds light on the industry's traffic trends. Wealthiest Americans continue to spend and eat out, while lower income families are dining in at home. And honestly, I don't blame them, because I don't think McDonald's food is very good. For one, on top of it being too expensive, I never eat there anymore. And when you find out that their fries have like multiple ingredients in it, you should only have a couple ingredients. I mean, you know, potatoes and salt or something. No, actually, there's like about 20 ingredients just in their fries alone. Even wheat. They have wheat somehow in their fries. Explain that one to me. I don't know. You have here DoorDash on top of it. Their stock drops 20%. You can see a lot of people are no longer eating out. Obviously, the prices are way through the roof. You can see here, DoorDash's stock just kind of craters a little bit there. Just a wee bit. 20% down. And some are saying they can't really make money doing DoorDash like they could back in 2020 when everybody was stuck in their houses. I was a DoorDash driver during the pandemic I had so much extra time on my hands and made use of it. I had so many orders where it was less than a mile away. I was being paid $19 before tip to deliver McDonald's fries and a Coke to people in their house or apartment. So these people were paying well over 25 buckaroos for $2 fries and a $1 Coke. Insane. I can't believe people pay that. That's crazy. Like, you don't even want to go to your house for that? I mean, come on, man. That's nuts, right? Then we got this interview of Billy Bob Thornton on Joe Rogan. It happened, I think, a day or two ago. America needs a common sense party. Politically, I call myself a radical moderate. Check this out. Let's play this.
And, I just look at what makes sense. And I think we need a common sense party. And politically, I call myself a radical moderate. I'm like very strong in my opinions. But my opinions don't belong to any political party. And, I just look at what makes sense. And I think we need a common sense party.
That makes sense. I mean, this is how everyone should be. They should be really thinking through their opinions. Obviously, you're not going to agree with every single thing on the left or the right or some specific candidate. You would think that if you thought everything through, you would figure out some stuff. Obviously, we allow ourselves to be swayed too much by these parties when we really should be focusing on what really works and what is good for our society, unlike what's going on with the Zoran in New York City and his new plan. Oh my goodness, this is horrible. Mayor-elect Zoran proposes Vienna-style social housing for New York City. We've seen this done many times before, and it always fails. All right, matter of fact, even Tim Pool says this. Is legit retarded. Please look at any public housing that doesn't work. Let's just play one of these here. Let's see if I can get this to play.
We'll have to go beyond the market. We can establish community land trusts to gradually buy up housing on the private market and convert it to community ownership. We can give tenants a right of first refusal to buy out their landlords when buildings go up for sale. And we can fully commit to a new era of social housing, ending subsidies for luxury housing development and using our wealth to build beautiful, high-quality social housing projects that offer good homes and strong communities.
Yay! I've never even seen that ever happen. I've literally never seen a community housing turn out awesome. I have never seen it happen. So I have to agree with Tim there. apparently also he's going to be confiscating New York business owner property and having the government take ownership so he can build these buildings, these community housing. Starting on day one, we will expand the city's special enforcement programs.
We'll expand the city's special enforcement programs, doubling fines for hazardous violations and tripling them for conditions that are immediately dangerous. And when a really bad landlord, like this guy, refuses to fix it, the city's going to step in, make the repairs, and send them to
Okay, watching it.
All right, so is he going to take it away?
If that doesn't work, the city's taking over the building.
Of course. Well, this sounds so familiar. Where have I heard this before? Oh, that's right. We had a hurricane over Jamaica. Oh, yeah. That's what happened in Asheville. Oh, all these places. Palisades. Right? Are they going to make New York City a smart city? Is that what they're talking about? Is that what this is all? Oh, that's right. He's backed by Soros. Oh, my goodness. What a shocker. I think this is going to... all these people that were joking that this is going to be horrible, and they're like, oh, I'm glad I got it. I got even with my MAGA parents. I voted him in. They're going to regret their vote. They're going to regret their vote because now guess what's happening? All the rich people who pay all the taxes are leaving. It's so interesting.
Sense. Here in New York, 1% of the population pays 48% of the income tax. Capital goes where it's treated best. If
exactly.
he is going to pay for all these handouts by taxing the wealthy, people are going to leave.
Yeah.
Bro, he has no idea. This Zoran is literally just, okay, it's like when you're doing the class president, election, and you got a lady or a guy that's really smart saying, hey, I'm going to try to fix this, that, and the other in our school, try to make things better, more classes in this area, blah, 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 whatever. Then you got the other guy like, hey, I'm going to give you free food. Yeah, free food. This is basically what this guy is.
To completely upset the balance of payments here in New York City because, again, 1%.
They've already said they're leaving. And
oh my
this is
goodness,
serious.
dude.
Around 7.
This is Cash Jordan, of course.
765,000 people who call New York City home are preparing to leave.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's pretty bad, actually.
What has happened in many places in Britain, such as with our Gaza MPs, is happening in New York, and it's happened to one of the first or second largest and most important cities in America. This is your future, just like it's happened here. These people didn't need to integrate because you brought so many of them in such large numbers, and you allowed them to concentrate themselves in particular areas.
Right. So he's talking about another aspect of what's wrong with this. Allowing a number of immigrants, of course, and he said he's going to be arresting ICE agents that come into New York City. This is what he had said. And like I said, we're going to get into a ton of stuff. We got a crazy message from Elon. It actually relates to what he was just saying there. And also a ton of other things with regards to Elon. Maybe the first ever trillionaire, actually, not next, the first ever. And we're going to we actually got a ton of stuff to get into. We got Russell Crowe talking about healthcare in America. We got even Elon talking about his faith, or at one point in 2024 talking about it. We'll get into that as well, and actually much more. First, so I got to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. 4 months worth for $6.97. You're going to definitely want to get it if you have not already. Link is in the description. Honestly, I have this funny feeling that more craziness is coming. I feel like we're just barely getting started. I'm like waiting for, I'm like, whoa, when's it going to happen? I know it's going to happen. When's it going to happen, right? It's always ways to be prepared for whatever's next. This book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity, How to Bet a Seller Do Things Around the House as They Did in the Old Days, hundreds of pages illustrated. You're going to need that before the power goes out. Get the printed version, of course. Link is in the description. Also, go check out all of my other social media. I got 2 different websites linked below. Also, I'm on Rumble and X. And, of course, here we go. We got here Elon on Joe Rogan, I think a few days ago. These lovely small towns in England, in Ireland and Scotland. Okay, this is kind of what's going to happen in New York City potentially as well.
These lovely sort of small towns in England, Scotland, Ireland. They've been sort of living their lives quietly. They're like hobbits, frankly. So it's in fact, J.R.R. Tolkien based the hobbits on people he knew in small town England, because they were just like lovely people who like to, smoke their pipe and have.
And actually, this is true from what I understand. Actually, they even asked Grok if it's true. It is true. J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, based the Hobbits off some of these small towns in Ireland, Scotland, England. And now, of course, I've seen videos. I don't know if you've seen some of these videos. They're literally having hundreds, in some cases, of immigrants coming into these small towns. And all of a sudden, there's crime everywhere and much more evil things happening as well to your younger, of course, ones. I think you got an idea what that might be. So, obviously, that went very viral. That clip there from Joe Rogan. A lot of people have been talking about it. And, I mean, this is what could end up happening in New York City even. And outside the suburbs and areas beyond the suburbs. If, of course, but of course he's going to be fighting with the president. Our president's basically trying to, deport some of these people. So we'll see how that all plays out. You have here Elon as well, might be the first trillionaire ever.
Elon Musk could become the world's first trillionaire.
Good for him.
Tesla shareholders approve a pay package for Musk worth roughly
big money.
$1 trillion.
Say it like
big
this,
money.
$1 trillion. The package gives Musk
Oh my
12
goodness.
tranches of stock in a 10-year period tied to performance targets that could eventually hand Musk.
That's just an insane amount of money. You know what I mean? That's extremely high amount of money. That's like 10,000 millions, right? Just having $1 million is pretty awesome. Imagine 10,000 times richer than that.
5% stock ownership in Tesla. Joining us now to break this all down
Good
is
for him.
Kurt, the cyber guy. Kurt, so Elon Musk is worth about $500 billion right now.
It's a lot of money.
He could increase that by $900 billion, almost
Man,
$1
that's
trillion.
insane.
So going for
It's like not even something you can really imagine. There's certain countries that are actually got a smaller GDP than Elon Musk's wealth. And so, I mean, in comparison to the average American, of course, he's from South Africa originally. The average American has hardly any money. Here we had Russell Crowe on Joe Rogan talking about the American healthcare system, saying it is broken. That's one of the things that does trouble me greatly for this country. Let's see if I can play this. I don't know if this is right in the beginning where he says this stuff.
That's one of the things that does trouble me greatly for this country. Health. Medical systems to benefit everybody. Something has perverted here where, the drug that I might need that I can buy for $50 for a month supply in Australia is $2,500 for a month here.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I know.
What's going on?
It's crazy.
Yeah,
And
I
where's,
agree.
see, you've got all these elected representatives here, and this country's got, a lot, That's what you should be working on, man.
Yeah, but they can't.
Because everybody's got their hands
tied. Yeah, they're all got including the media. That's the crazy thing.
It's got their pockets full of money is what they got. A lot of these people got their pockets full of money that's how they get their $500 million worth of wealth, like in the case of Nancy, Pelosi, when she only makes, $180,000 a year as a elected representative. Just to imagine how she was able to get so much money other than just, knowing what to play on the stock market. It is kind of interesting. Did she get any money from these people? I'm guessing she probably did. I think even RFK's pointed it out many times in various hearings. You have here, so you have Russell Crowe talking about how ridiculous things cost here. And it is absolutely insane. And it also is very bizarre when I've said something in past to someone, on the phone or maybe just while I'm walking down the street or just in a supermarket or whatever. Next thing you know, I come home and there's an advertisement for it on the TV. And it's something obviously super expensive as well. Some sort of health thing, right? I see it all the time. It's absolutely insane. You have Elon Musk predicts AI will surpass human control at Tesla's 2025 meeting. This is insane. At Tesla's, and see this, I don't agree with this logic. The reason why I don't agree with this logic is because it's hiding something. And it reminds me of those at the top who pretend not to be there when they are. And they want you and I to fight amongst ourselves about silly garbage when we really got to deal with those at the top that are really sort of the faceless backroom guys who are behind these AI as well. It's not just some random chance they all say the same stuff, okay, and have a slant the same exact direction, including Elon's, which apparently he appointed people in the same ilk, okay, which makes absolutely no sense why he would do that. He's been called out on it for himself. It's not these AI being in control. It's the one programming them that is. All right? I don't agree with his logic at all. Why would people want to allow the human experience to be displaced by computers as a creation of man? AI will be divorced from the flaws of human. This is ridiculous. Indeed, it is more likely to magnify those flaws. Well, it is. It's not only that. It's those in control behind these, of course, AI, obviously, putting out certain messages. I've noticed the AIs already getting dumber. I made fun of one yesterday. Actually, I made fun of Grok. I showed how it was dumb. I'll actually show that later in my, not this video, but I'll do it over my other channel, where it says, hey, that's one of those theories. You're crazy. And then I asked it a question. I say, hey, you're pretty smart, Grok. What would be the best thing to do in this scenario? And then it goes, well, 100% this one direction. And the direction is exactly the theory that I proposed. So it's just hilarious to watch how it contradicts itself if you know how to make it contradict itself. But at any rate, so you got that. What else do we got here? We got here, oh yeah, what's going on with this whole thing with Ben Shapiro. We'll get into that in a second, though. I wanted to first show you, what is this here? Oh yeah, okay. We got this other one here of Elon talking about Jesus Christ and his teachings. This is kind of interesting. Check this out.
I believe in the teachings of Christ. I believe, that he's I believe in the Christian principles. Love thy neighbor. I believe in turn the other cheek, which is very important to have forgiveness. Because if you don't have forgiveness, then you have an endless cycle of retribution. I believe in...
So, of course, some are hoping that he goes fully on board and becomes a Christian himself. A lot of people have been talking about this. This actually went viral today on X. This old clip from 2024 where he said all that. Then we got this, apparently this interview recently, or I don't know what this is. It's a conference interview, whatever this is. You have Megyn Kelly with Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson on the same stage. And of course, Megyn Kelly's playing it very safe. She sees that things are getting a little heated. She sides with Ben Shapiro. Check this out.
And he's pretending that this character in the video is...
Okay, so she's talking about Nick playing a video game, Grand Theft Auto, and talks about Ben while he's playing the game.
Ben, let's watch.
This is whenever he used to be a Twitch streamer. Remember that? How does he take that?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Shouldn't he die?
I think Nick has a little bit of venting here.
Oh, that's funny. Man, that makes me laugh and laugh. That's a funny one.
Oh my goodness.
What a chance encounter that was. I think I just saw Ben Shapiro.
So, of course, he was saying that what he was doing is he was taking out Ben Shapiro. And, honestly, this is a video game. And he was probably doing that for clicks and views. And I'm sure he was venting some of his anger at Ben. And I do think Nick is a little bit off. Of course, he is pretty much off in some respects. But some of this is trolling. Some of this is for attention. He's an ENTP personality type. They love to do crazy stuff and get people's attention. Andrew Tate is an ENTP. A lot of these guys at the top that you see, these social media guys are ENTPs. They'll do some crazy thing to get your attention, to get everybody to look at you. And then they'll walk it back, right? That's how they do it. And he, for instance, he recently said he loves Stalin. He does that because he knows it's going to get big view. Everyone's going to talk about it. That's the entire reason they do it. It doesn't mean he literally loves Stalin, although he probably does admire some things about him or something. You know what I mean? So here's Nick's response to this clip and how they were saying he was despicable and a horrible human being for laughing and talking about Ben like this. Check this out.
Over Ben Shapiro. Ha ha ha. And then everybody boos. Then the audience goes, boo. They go, boo, boo.
See how he's laughing? It's because it worked. He's an ENTP. He's trying to get attention. You see what I mean?
Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. You people cheer for genocide.
Of course, he's going to say, yeah, for what's happening in Gaza.
Life. We have reached, by the way, the pinnacle of fake outrage. Talk about fake outrage. I can't wait for my Megyn Kelly interview. People, fat pigs, slobs, disgusting animals. Only Ben Shapiro.
That's, of course, a Trump quote, you know, reappropriated.
Fairness, it was more than Ben Shapiro.
Okay, yes. Obviously you get the response. But, I mean, it is kind of ridiculous. And actually, I mean, it is a little bit of a fake outrage in a sense because it's not like it's a video game, you know what I mean? And he's just doing it for views. At any rate, so then we have Megyn Kelly grilling the Tuckmeister. Check this out.
So what do you say to those people who say, why didn't you raise any of that?
You interviewed Vladimir Putin. I mean, isn't Vladimir Putin worse than Nick Fuentes? I feel like he's at least a little bit worse, right?
You know, do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at...
Absolutely based fucking response.
Yes.
I'm not accountable to you. I'm accountable to my audience, and that's it. I love this. Thank God. Thank God we're moving away from this weird virtue signal garbage.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing about you have an interviewer, just like we saw with Sydney Sweeney recently, where this is your opportunity to say sorry for what you did there, Sydney Sweeney, with the American Eagle jeans, and said you had good jeans. Tuckmeister, it's your chance to say sorry for screwing up interviewing Nick. We want to bring you back in the fold, but right now you're not doing the right thing. You going to do the right thing or not, Tuckmeister? No, you're not. You're not going to do the right thing, are you? Of course, because that no longer works. No one gives a crap. No one's going to fall for that anymore. That thing is sailed. It's gone, right? 100% gone. We have, of course, Ben Shapiro canceling his episode on Patrick Bet-David's show because Patrick Bet-David had the gall to interview Nick. I mean, goodness gracious, you can interview anybody but this one guy. You can interview Destiny. You can interview these guys on the left that are total communists. They got the most disgusting things they've done in their past. That's okay. But if you interview Nick, that's the height of evil. The height of evil. It's not allowed. And Ben is punishing PBD over this.
Then they agree, all right, Ben wants to come on the podcast. Then when I said, you know, I want to have Nick on, I looked at the booking team. After Ben was confirmed, I said, if they cancel, it's because of me agreeing to have Nick on. Great. We have Nick on.
And of course, that's what happens. They canceled afterwards. So, I mean, you get the idea. At any rate, so that's sort of what's going on with all of that. I mean, honestly, the way I look at it from a bird's eye view is it's like those at the top don't like Nick to be seen. They want him to be under the surface, expelled, cast out. But now that he's becoming more mainstream, this is bad. So they want to, they're still trying to get him back in. They're trying to put him back in the Pandora's box, right? That's what they're trying to do. It's not, or the genie back in the bottle, whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. Then we got this here. Apparently now indie games are becoming much more popular than these AA, AAA, quadruple A. Well, quadruple A would probably be Grand Theft Auto 6 games. It's kind of interesting. Check this out. And we're doing an indie game ourselves, Noah VR. You can check out the link in the description if you want to get involved. You could actually earn some money. $400 in will give you a seat as a shareholder where you will gain a significant percentage of the profits shared amongst 700 plus people. Let me just show you that real quick, and then I'll show you this little clip here. 33% of Noah VR profits capped at 700 people as shareholders. All will share these profits when we release the game. We are doing our best to make sure this game is totally awesome before we release it. Here's a couple examples. half the games almost at the top are indie games. We're talking guys that are like me, like our team, making a game and going to the top. And when you get to the top, we're talking millions, multi-millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in some cases. So if you guys get on board and we have some sort of grand slam home run, you're going to be making some serious money.
I'm actually even kind of shocked at how well a lot of these indie games are doing. And why are indie games performing so well? I will tell you why. It's because they are actually video games. Like if I go right now and I look at SteamDB, how many of these video games are indie games? Banana is unfortunately an indie game. And I think Repo is an indie game. And it looks like Megabonk is no longer on the list, but Megabonk was also an indie game, and so was Ball Pit very recently. Give me 1 second. I've got to use the bathroom.
There's 4 games at the top. What was that, like 15 games shown? 4 games with guys with like, a shoestring budget, just, like quote unquote in their garage, building these games. I mean, now you know what I'm saying. Or maybe in an apartment, building a game, and then they have a massive hit.
I love this game, by the way.
This is one of them right here.
Like I've been playing this game a lot off stream. This game is so good.
And that's an indie game right there. It wasn't like some massive corporation making this game. Absolutely insane. And we were calling this. Our team was saying, look, we know there is one good thing about AI in one respect, although there's a lot of negatives to AI. I think a lot of these AIs, like these Grok, ChatGPT, are getting dumber. I'll show you some examples of that on my other channel, but you know what I mean? Like there is one good thing. And when you got a small team and you don't got a ton of money, you can actually use AI to help you build it faster. And ironically, some of these big companies are figuring out the same thing, and that's why they're canceling all their employees. But we don't have a budget like they do. You know what I mean? We're trying to make this game we're like David versus Goliath. You know what I mean? Like they're the Goliaths and we're the David, trying to somehow get into this market. And now it's actually got an opportunity. You're seeing these games succeed because they're not full of woke stuff, no rainbows. We don't have any of that in our game. It's going to be an awesome action-packed Indiana Jones type of game back in the time of the Book of Enoch. Actually, well, yeah, around the Book of Noah. You know what I'm saying? Enoch was around sort of in that time frame. Long, sort of ballpark, right? At any rate, you get the idea. So, I'm going to get into a ton more over my other channel. I can't really get into all this here. This is really interesting what Andrew Wilson had to say. This is a solution he came up with to fix our culture. This is a really good idea. They've been using propaganda all this time. You just invert it and use good version instead of this negative evil version on society, and it'll fix it. Check this out.
If at a national level you had propaganda, which instead of showing LGBTQ flag, degeneracy, girl bossing, shit like this, which is what you see everywhere, you had institutional family units instead.
Come on.
Right? And that was what you saw everywhere that you went. And that was where the social status was. At the top-down level, that would really help change people's psyches around the same.
Well, how do you think it worked for thousands of years? It's because all of society was looking at each other and they were promoting these models. Now you have some people at the top who own these social media that are perpetuating all this stuff that has nothing to do with normalcy and then trying to call it normal. You see what I mean? So I think what he's saying actually makes a lot of sense. I'm going to get into more of it over my other channel. Kind of wonder what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.